welcome our sister to the Deen of Islam, and just to remind ourselves and also to give her one thing, the benefit of embracing Islam is that Islam takes away what is before it. And if a person, the lifestyle he has now changed or she has changed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever sins were committed before then, Islam takes them away. Except if you have got a right of someone, maybe a credit on someone, you have to pay back that credit. But if it is the issues of the sins, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives that person and he becomes like a newborn baby without any sin. So our sister is welcomed. She is at present much better than us all, because she has to start now. If it is commit sins, we ask Allah to protect her from those, that she continues becoming and strengthen her faith over Islam and to protect her iman. To continue with our discussion, imagine the day Yawm al-Hashr, the day we are going to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are walking towards this particular place where we are going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And your name is called in the midst of all the creation from Adam alayhi salam until the last person Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to create on this earth. And it is your turn or my turn to come before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to answer the questions of the things I was doing on earth. Imagine that particular situation. How are you going to answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When you look at your life, left, right, up, down, you see that your life is not pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see that your life, you are unable to answer any question. Even before that, if you were taught you are in your house, then you hear the knock on the door. You are sitting with your family in your sitting room, and that knock on the door, you go and open the door, you see it is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam knocking on your door. Are you going to allow him in your house? You look at your house, there's no Islam in it. You look at your house, there's no sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Yourself, you never followed any sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. لَوْ رَآكَ لَا حَبَّكَ. If you were to see him, or if he was to see you, were you going to love him? My brothers and my sisters in Islam, this step to Akhirah, it is not an easy thing. It is not enough to say, I am a believer. Like what the Bedouins, they say, قَالَتِ الْأَعْرَابُ آمَنَّا. The Bedouins, they say that we are believers. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had to challenge them, because there is a difference between someone who has embraced Islam and someone who has reached the level of Iman in all the levels of Iman. There is a difference. You, by just having a name of a Muslim, does not guarantee you to become a better Muslim. Because a person who becomes a proper Muslim is the martabatul ihsan, an ta'budu Allah ka'annaka tarahu fa in lam takun tarahu fa innahu yaraka. Otherwise, when we say, no, I'm a Muslim, someone comes to you, my brother, what you're doing is haram. You say, I know it is haram. You think you're the only one who knows. You think I don't know. Me, have been a Muslim. My fathers, my forefathers have been Muslims. You just embrace Islam. I know this one for a long time. Then you ask yourself, what type of a Muslim is this one? من رأى منكم منكرا فليغير بيده فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه وذلك أضعف الإيمان. A Muslim comes to you and tells you that ya akhi, this is a reminder. فذكروا فإن الذكر تنفع المؤمنين. Someone is reminding you about the akhirah. Then you are becoming rude towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thinking that the steps to akhirah, how to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have prepared it well. And you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, huwa ghafur rahim, He's so merciful, and he's going to put a blind eye on all what I used to do on earth, all the mischief I brought, all the confusions I brought on the people. Then you think Allah is going to put a blind eye on you and say, because you said ashhadu la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, then Allah admits you to Jannah? No. Jannah is not that cheap. Jannah is not cheap that you can just buy it by you saying ashhadu la ilaha illallah. That's all, without even looking at the teeth of this shahada. But when all the human beings are there, your name is called by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now you are being asked the things which you used to do on earth. You had a recorder each and every day, a CCTV with you. Within your body, he was there, they were there every time. The things we type, the things we say, the things we watch, the things we smile, the things we listen to, all these are being recorded in our records. Then that time when we are being called by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to meet him and to answer those questions, the day when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to close your mouth, the day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to close the mouth, because today we are using the mouth to speak, we are using the mouth to defend ourselves, we are using the mouth to bring lies, we are using the mouth of everything. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that special day, Yawmul Hashr, Yawmul Qiyamah, is going to allow our hands to speak. He's going to allow our legs to speak. He's going to allow our eyes to speak. He's going to allow our nose to speak. He's going to allow our private parts to speak. Now, you become a witness of yourself. You become a witness of yourself, where you cannot run away from yourself. Where are you going to run away from? Can you run away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Wallahi, you cannot. Today, we look at ourselves with our people, with the groups we are in, to be very much clever. We say a lot of things without realizing, without thinking twice, what I've said, is it against me or it is for me on the day of Qiyamah? The step to Akhirah, be mindful of what you say each and every minute you say. You open up your mouth, what do you say? Is it for you or against you? Yeah, and if it is for you, it is going to benefit you, Allah will reward you for that. If it is against you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to punish you for that. Wallahi, today the ummah it really needs this type of activities to come back, to restate itself. It has been hibernating for a long time. The youths, they are not the youths. You can give an example of the time of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who played a major role of the upbringing of Islam. Today our youths are youths of fitna. They have known the keyboard very much, and they're using the keyboard. They're spending a lot of money preparing their akhirah with the fitna itself. Do not think that when you type a message, that message is not being recorded by the angels. They record it. It has come out of you. Do not think that when you send a voice note, that voice note is not recorded. It is recorded by the angels and it is in your book. And that day, when Allah will call you and gives you the book, Ikra kitabaka kafa binafsika alayka al-yawma hasiba. When you be given your book, whether from the right hand or the left hand, read your own book today. For us to prepare for the akhirah, let us reflect the concept of resurrection, the day we are going to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the day when our names shall be called before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that day nothing will be there like dhulm. La dhulm al-yawm. That day there will be no dhulm. Liman al-mulk. Who is the king on that bad day? It is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The kings of this world, once they die, their kingship dies. They will not go with the kingship before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will not ask them because they were king on dunya, then that day they will be also king sitting with Allah. No, it won't be like that. Imagine that day when Malak al-Maut comes to you and gets your life, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you a picture of where you are going. You have been busy in this dunya, destroying your akhirah. You have been busy in this dunya without thinking of preparing for your journey, how to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have been busy in this dunya thinking that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful that you cannot, because you say shahada, then it is enough for you. Because you are a Muslim, then it is enough, you can do whatever you want to do. This is not the deen of Islam. You are responsible of what you do. Let's live our lives for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Each and every person is shown his place, where he is going, the time he is dying. There was a story of some youths in a particular country. They went for mountain climbing. As they went, one of them fell from on top of the mountain up to down, and he injured himself, and he started bleeding. The friends went to him, seeing him that he's bleeding a lot, and they told him, in case this might be your last moment, Qul la ilaha illallah. Say la ilaha illallah. And he was just looking at them. They again repeated, in case this might be your last moment, say la ilaha illallah. He just looked at them. The third time they told him, in case this might be the last time, the last moment, Qul la ilaha illallah. He said, for the last 60 days, I've never worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I was so busy with my things with this world. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took his life. If only he was given an opportunity to say la ilaha illallah at the time of death, then he was guaranteed to go to Jannah. Do you think that because you can be able to say it now, la ilaha illallah, the time of death you'll be able to say it, and yet you do not practice that la ilaha illallah? Wallahi, you cannot say it. You can never say la ilaha illallah the time you are dying if you never lived the life of la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Let's live that life of la ilaha illallah, so that the time when we are dying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can bless us with the shahada, to be the last words to come out of our words. Many of us, when we come in public, we are perceived to be good people, very good people. And people, they look at us, mashallah, with this person, mashallah, people are even admiring us, that we have got high iman. But when we stand outside, the other side of the world, when we are in a secret room, when we are committing ourselves the sins, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not pleased with us. A life of a believer should be the same, whether you are in secret, how you fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the same way you should fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the public. Do not be a munafiq to show people that you are a good Muslim, you are a practicing Muslim, and yet what you do out there, you are a mischief to the ummah. And today people, they admire what we do. And today people, they admire what we say. And today people, they will just be attractive with the words. But in reality, what we are seeing about this person is not what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking at this person. Be a good Muslim. When you are in a private life, you have to become a better Muslim more than in the public. Never show a good Islam in public, but when you are alone, you get to jiri, you start drinking. When you are alone, you do commit zina. When you are alone, you do this and this. When you are alone, you eat the body of the Muslims. You talk bad about Muslims. أَيُحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ أَنْ يَأْكُلَ لَحْمَ أَخِيهِ مَيْتَةً فَكَرِهْتُمُوهُ. How many times do we talk bad about others where we cannot even say in front of them? How many times do we gossip about our friends? We have been given a taste of life, the social media, which is a taste of life. We are using it as a tool to destroy our deen over Islam. Instead of building our Islam, instead of using it wisely, we are destroying our akhirah using it. Because you can meet millions of people at the same time using that particular means. And do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sleeping over that? Sincerity in our lives is the only way for us to achieve what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us to do. Al-ikhlas fil amal, fi aqwal. The ikhlas, the sincerity in what we say, the ikhlas in what we do, for the sake of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the main tool of our life. Without the sincerity, our deeds can never be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without following the footsteps of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, our deeds can never be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you look at ikhlas with the sincerity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us about the hereafter life is better than the life we are living. وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى. The life of hereafter is better than this life we are living. Now, how do we prepare to get that better life? We think that by us getting busy on chasing this worldly life, it is better for us, preparing for our children, preparing for ourselves. But this life is nothing. One day, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in the market and he saw a dead donkey. Then he said, "Who can buy this donkey?" He called upon his sahabas, "Who can buy this donkey?" They said, "Ya Rasulullah, this donkey is dead. No one can even eat it. It is dead. It has got no use. Who can buy it?" No one can buy it because it is useless where it is. He says, "Who can get it even for free? I give it free. Who can get it?" None of the sahabas, none of the people around him could say we can get it because it was useless. It is a carcass which is not been halal to eat, and you cannot even use it to work. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "This dunya you are looking at is worse than this donkey. If this donkey is useless here, you cannot even take it. This dunya we are chasing, it is worse than this donkey." How much is this? These children that are making noise, can someone control the children? How much are we taking the value of this world? The world which the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam is worse than a dead donkey. We have taken the world in our heart and we have taken the deen in our hands. How do we prepare those steps to the akhirah? Our lives are passing by very quickly. Today is the 24th of December, and the end of the year. If you were to sit down and analyze your life from 1st January up to date, what are the things you have achieved? Which has increased in your deen? What are the things you have decreased
Like compared to last year, how was your iman at this particular time last year? And how is your iman today? Soon Ramadan is coming. March is just around the corner. March is just around the corner. Ramadan to Ramadan, our lives are not changing. And yet, we are having hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive us, and we cannot even wait for that. No one is going to enter into Jannah because of his deeds. Not even the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We are only going to enter into Jannah by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How do you achieve the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When yourself, you do not have the life, you don't live the life of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't have that life in you. أَفَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. Are people going to be left out to say, we are believers, we are true believers, we are Muslims, believers, وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ, and yet they are not being tested? وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. We tested the people before you, and the people who are more tested are the prophets. Then those who follow, those who are closer to them, like that, it goes like that. You think your life will just be left out like that to say that you are a believer and Allah is not going to test you? Testing come. For you to go to that stage, to the AKHIRAH, you need to be tested. You are going to face a lot of challenges in your life. And those challenges, they are going to strengthen your iman, and you are going to become more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And some of the people, in their challenges, they insult Allah by making kufr, by making shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by taking out that belief they had. They go out now, they leave Islam. Wa iyadu billah. Whenever you are faced with any challenge in your life, before you point finger at anyone else, look at yourself. What is it that you did wrong that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed that to happen to you? It means there's something wrong. Allah is not happy with you. It is ourselves. We have to look at ourselves, our lives, then before we start pointing fingers at Allah, at anyone else. Allah tells us in Surah Al-Mu'minin, ayah number 99, حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءَ أَحَدَكُمُ الْمَوْتِ قَالَ رَبِّ ارْجِعُونِ لَعَلِّي أَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا فِيمَا تَرَكْتُ. A human being, he is going to regret at a particular time of death. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he tells us, a person who is really preparing, who is not preparing to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the time when Malak al-Maut comes to him, he will be requesting. When death comes to you, then he will say, oh Allah, take me back, Ya Rabb. Because now you have seen the reality of life. The things which you could not see when you were alive, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought them to you. When you are dying, all the things where you are supposed to go, what you used to do, the things which you left out. Then you say, Rabbi irji'un la'alli a'malu salihan fima tarakt. Oh Allah, take me back. Maybe I might do good deeds for the things which I left out. Let's not be amongst the people who are going to regret when Malak al-Maut is going to come to us. The steps to AKHIRAH, we have the leakage of our exam. We prepare for our exam. When we are writing the exams tomorrow, we are making sure that we are not going to sleep. No matter how busy a person might be, when you have a journey to go somewhere, or you have an exam, or you are doing something, or you have got a wedding, you have got nikah tomorrow, no matter how busy you are going to prepare for that particular program. No matter what. We know for sure the guarantee of our life is death. Are we preparing for that? Only this part, we ignore it. Only this part, we ignore it. We do not want even to prepare for it. Even if we know for sure that people whom we lived with, they are gone. And the bitter truth is that once you die, you shall be forgotten. Once you die, you shall be forgotten. They will forget you completely when you die. Your wife will remember you 4 months, 10 days. After that, she has got the right to go and marry someone else. She will enjoy her life. You yourself, you say, a man doesn't have iddah. Immediately you bury your wife, you want to marry another one. I cannot live alone because I don't have iddah. You marry. It's allowed in Islam. There's no problem with that. You are forgotten already. I don't want to torture myself remembering my wife, so let me just marry. Life goes on. Your children, they fight over your things which you have left behind. The same house which you are saying you are building for them is the same house. They'll even forget you in that same house. They'll fight you in the same house. Now, is it worth it that you are forgotten on this dunya where you worked very hard, and again to Allah, again you find you are a loser because you never prepared for Allah, how to meet Allah, you prepared for the dunya only. And what? Yatba'ul mayyit thalatha, ahluhu wa maluhu wa amalu. 3 things follows when a person dies. Now you prepared everything for this dunya. Your wealth remains with you. Your relatives, your wealth remains on earth. Your relatives remains. But when you die, when they bury you, you only go with your deeds. And when you look at your book, you open up your book since you were born, the time you became mukallif, the time you became at an puberty stage, where everything was written for you, when you became at that age, you check all that book. You find that there's nothing. You did a lot of good deeds, but again you destroyed them. Al-Muflis. And most of us today, I don't know how many minutes I'm remaining with, because I'm not guided to at what time my program will be ending. Most of us, we are those Muflis on the day of Qiyamah. Most of us today, we are the people who are going to regret on the day of Qiyamah, most of us. كيف هذا? One day the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was asking, أتدرون من المفلس? He was asking his companions, do you know who is a muflis? A muflis, they say, is a bankrupt person, a person who had money, and later on he doesn't have any money, he doesn't have any wealth. This is a muflis. But the meaning of the muflis, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wanted here, it is not that. He said, al-muflis, it is that person who is going to come on the day of Qiyamah with salat, mashallah. This person used to pray. Salat, used to pray on time, mashallah. If it is a woman, she used to pray at home on time, salat. Saum, she used to fast. Zakah, she used to give zakah. He used to give zakah if they were able to give zakah. Sadaqah, they used to do that. Had all the deeds which were required from him or her, they used to do them. But now here is a muflis. How does this person become a bankrupt person? On the day of Qiyamah, Allah will give each and every person an opportunity to get your rights. This one will say, Ya Allah, this person insulted me on such a day, I want my rights. Then, because that day there's no money in it, you're not going to give out money. You are going to give out your deeds, your good deeds, your salat equivalent to that insult you gave to that person. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala get the salawats from you and give to this person. You know what is painful? Someone never committed zina. Then you find yourself being punished for a sin of zina. Someone never stole, but you are being punished for stealing. Someone never killed, but you are being killed. You are being punished for the case of killing. How? Because someone whom you insulted on social media, someone whom you sent you talked to them badly, someone whom you ate their hack, they say, oh Allah, we want our... Each and every soul should look forward what it is going to bring forth before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is our step to akhirah. Look at what are you going to present to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day when you are going to present to stand before Allah, on the day يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. A day when our wealthy, our children, our friends, our wives, our everything, they are not going to benefit us except that person who comes to Allah with a clean heart. Let us prepare ourselves to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with our clean heart. Let us look at this awareness that it is a reality. The guarantee we have for us to meet Allah, it is death. How do we prepare for that death? How do we prepare for that qiyamah? Because when a person dies, his qiyamah has just started. When a person dies, this is your qiyamah. Nothing is going to help you except the particular things which are going to help you. For this, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us all to prepare our steps to akhirah in a manner which Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, would love us to prepare it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our affairs more easy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our deeds which we are doing. Wa akhiru dawana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.